Hi friends, Coach Nicole here with NickiFit A to Z. As part of our basic training series, I'm going to take a step aside from a workout format and I'm going to break down some individual movements for us because my goal for you is to move comfortably, to move pain-free, to move in a way that's going to prevent injury and set you up for success for long-term functional movement. So really when we take some time to break down our exercises or our movements, we're going to find that success in moving through ranges of motion, forms that work best for the individual body. We all have different ways that we work through a movement that feels best for us. So I'm going to offer up a couple different ways to move better through a squat today. Squat is one of the primary functional movements because we take a squat when we're sitting, whether in a chair, going to the bathroom, getting into a car. Working through a squat not only builds lower body strength, also that core strength that we need. There is finding a great part of the form of a squat is finding a perfect stance that brings symmetry and centeredness. So there's that squat. So actually bringing in kind of helping us achieve better balance with that as well. That's why squat is a primary functional movement. A lot of times in our workouts, I do break down movements, offering guidance how to do things better. But again, through these next few episodes that I'm going to be sharing with you, we're going to really focus on the individual movement, how to move through it with greater ease in a way that feels best for you. So there's a couple different ways we can make a squat feel better, especially for those knees. I'm really going to stick with one version today. And again, this is one that I often bring up in a lot of our workouts, especially when we're doing a lower body workout, is how to take pressure off the knees. So we're going to go over that today. So I invite you to move along with me. You'll get a little bit of that lower body workout in because we're going to take several variations of squats today. So again, work through it with me and find what works best for you, what feels best for you. And again, that may just be a shorter range of motion, which I'll point out to you what that looks like versus taking something a little bit more in depth. And the goal is to find that movement that feels best for you. So as you build up your strength and you build up even your core strength, you'll be able to find more depth in your squat. So again, being able to sit in a lower chair, even being able to sit on the ground, we need our squat to be able to do that. So I'm going to take you through, first of all, we're going to look at our standard squat here. So a standard squat is typically when we have our feet about our shoulder distance apart, maybe even slightly wider. And here's where you really can pinpoint what feels best for you is that width of your stance here, the width of your feet. So if I start off here, I've got my feet about my shoulder distance apart, but you can also step them just a little bit wider to feel really centered in your squat stance. So that's really what we're looking for, that centeredness in our squat stance. Now, if you're like me, you've got some arthritis in your knee. I've also that has developed back from some runner's knees, so just some wearing away of the cartilage, some misalignment, even some weakening of the tendons of the knee, which can shift the patella. So that's an issue for me. There's various forms of arthritis, and for the knee, usually it does involve the patella. Sitting on the rest of the bone on the knee, especially the femur coming up from our thigh right here. So squats are really good at strengthening the quadriceps, which sit above our femur bone here. And when we can strengthen those quadriceps, we start to help support, kind of almost lift that kneecap so it's not riding quite so bone on bone. So again, building strength can be really good for arthritis, for any of those wear and tear injuries, which is like the runner's knee. That's a wear and tear injury happened over time. So we're going to kind of focus on movement that helps you move pain-free from that kind of bone-on-bone situation you might have going on with your knees. So one really important thing, especially if you haven't really been practicing squats for a while, we really want to focus on our knees going wide here. So a lot of times when we have some weakness in our legs, our knees want to cave in. That can not only affect our knees, in fact, the ankles and our hips as well. So we really want to protect the other joints of our body when we're going through our movements. So what I like to do, especially when I'm really just getting comfortable in my squats here, start to flare your toes out. Where your toes are, your knees are going to go. Call that tracking here. So I'm even just going to take a squat right here just to show that how my knees go wide. If I'm looking down, they're going towards the center of my toe, outside of my going center of my foot, outside of my knee, kind of lining up right with my pinky toe here. So taking it down and coming up. So you can start off here, even pressure through your foot. So feeling some of your weight go through the ball of your foot and even your heel right here. You can take that squat, see how that feels for you. If you feel kind of that irritating rubbing, the bone on bone sliding here, that pain that comes with it, what I'm going to ask you to do is make a little adjustment here, shifting your weight mostly into your heels, also the outer edge of your foot. So I'm going to kind of exaggerate here what that looks like. So kind of lifting my feet here and lifting the ball of the foot. So lifting your arch is what puts the weight on the outer edge of our foot. Of course, we want our big toes down, but very lightly. That's going to help us keep balance. So very light amount of pressure here on the ball of our foot. Very light amount of pressure even on our toe. We're going to get extra heavy in our heels and that outer edge of our foot. So when I sit down, all that weight now is coming more through my glutes and hamstrings, feeling anything very lightly through my knees. So again, try that out with me. Knees going wide, extra weight in our heels. And then really sitting back into it. That is key focus area of our squats, really extending back. So do get a little bit of a forward lean. We don't want to fall forward, but chest does come slightly forward here in that squat position. So try that out. See how that feels for you. Again, if you're still feeling some discomfort, maybe on the inside of the knee or the inner legs, change that distance of your feet. You might even have to play with that angle of your feet. The key is here is play with it. Play with positioning, play with angles, see what feels best for you. Moving through any exercise, there's not a black or a white version of it. There's tons of room to make small adjustments to make it feel best for you. Now, finishing out kind of our focus on this squat, what I was just mentioning is where that lean is from our chest. We're keeping our chest more upright. We do want, think about your heart space upright and even your eyes here. So when you start to take that your squat here, hips are going back, shoulders come just slightly in front of the hips, but my chest space, my heart space again is still forward. My eyes are still forward. So coming into that squat, super important to keep yourself up nice and tall. Practice your form using just your body. Build your strength up using just body weight so it feels really comfortable to you. Once those squats really feel easy, going body weight, and you found your form, you found your foot position, you found your center and your depth, go ahead, add some weight into your squat, which is often what I do in a lot of my other videos. So you might want to check out one of my lower body videos. But oftentimes, even just using some dumbbells, we might bring them right up in front of our shoulders here. They call this a front squat. So whether you're using dumbbells or even maybe a barbell in front of your chest here. Same thing, I'm going to keep those feet wide. I do like my toes out at a little bit of an angle here. We're going to same thing, just take it down, keeping heart space and eyes forward. Good target if you're holding your dumbbells or a barbell right here. We want to keep it nice and lifted. We don't want it dropping to face the ground. I'm getting pretty low here in my depth. Again, I've been working at this for a while. But again, maybe just taking it down just a little bit is what feels right for you right now till you build up that strength. And that's okay. This is called our range of motion. So play with that range of motion that feels best for you. This might be a shortened range of motion right here. When we build that strength, we can go deeper range of motion coming all the way down. So there's a nice little tutorial for you on getting a better squat for stronger functional fitness. You'll find yourself getting up and down off the ground, in and out of chairs much more comfortably, even walking much more comfortably. So give those squats a try, find your right squat. I would love to know if you enjoy this kind of tutorial video. I am going to be dropping some more, so stay tuned. Make sure you hit the subscribe button for more upcoming workouts and demonstration videos, tutorials just like this.